Today we're going to do 4 separate Photoshop lessons for 4 grades that are going to show you how to add movement to otherwise static pictures. One of them is called Pixel Stretch, and out of the 3 photos that you turn in for the jump project, one of them does need to be edited with Pixel Stretch. First thing to do is to go on to Schoology and let's find the pictures we're going to need today. In the Photoshop lesson folder, there are 2 pictures. One of them is flower. Right click, save image as, make sure it goes to downloads, hit save, then go back and get the one called jump. It's one photo that we're actually going to turn in 3 different times for 3 different grades today. In Photoshop, we're going to open those 2 pictures. We're going to open flower and we're going to open up jump. We're going to begin with the easy one, which is flower, so click that tab. On the toolbar, choose the second tool. It is your rectangular marquee. It's a square made up of a bunch of dashed lines. Click and drag a box around this flower that is square. This one tends to work better as a square picture. Once you let go, go to Image, Crop. It's now a square. Go to Filter, Blur, Radial Blur. When you click Radial Blur, this triangle needs to be moved around until you get to 20. And when you get to 20, click OK. All it does is it makes it look like the flower is spinning and is adding some movement to that image. File, save a copy. Let's call this one Flower Copy Done. Click Save and OK, and we'll turn that one in on Schoology later. Now let's look at this one. You're going to use that same tool, the square or the rectangular marquee tool, but before you select anything, make sure feather is at 0. If it's not, you click 0, hit enter, and now we're good. All right, I'm going to click at the top of her head and I'm going to draw a selection area all the way down to about where her thigh is. If you hold your mouse down, you're going to see width and height of this selection area. Mine is about 14, 15, 16, just something in that neighborhood would be fine. Let go. Go to Edit, Copy, or Control C. Edit, Paste, or Control V is our shortcut. And then go to Edit, Transform. It's actually Transform today, or Control T on your keyboard. You're going to see this highlighted area, which is actually a copied layer over here. Hold your mouse over the left square until your mouse turns into a left and right arrow. And when it does, I'm going to drag these pixels all the way to the left. And then I'm going to click OK. Now I want it to look like she's running so fast that her pixels, her image is actually stretching. To be able to see what I'm doing here, I'm going to go to opacity and I'm going to temporarily turn this down to where I can kind of see it, but I mostly see her. So I want to erase the pixels I don't need. Choose your eraser tool on the keyboard. And then notice my mouse is about the size of her eye. You can make this mouse selection area by going up here and choosing the size, but my favorite shortcut is to look at the keyboard. Find the letter P, and there are open and close brackets next to that P. When you hold down the close bracket, your mouse gets smaller, and then the right bracket, it gets bigger. So I'm going to start with the bigger one, and I'm going to be erasing those pixels on top of her face, her body, and then this mouse is too big for her arm. I'm going to make it smaller, and I'm going to erase those pixels that are going to be down her arm. And I'm also going to get where it's going to be on her foot. And it does not have to be perfect. I know I've gone outside the line just a little bit. Let's turn opacity back up and see how we did. Not bad. Again, I would have taken my time and gotten less of this white right here. But that's what we're going for. We're trying to make it look like the pixels are streaking by. So for your first grade on this picture, I want you to go to File, Save a Copy. And this one is just called the line stretch. It just stretched out the pixels to the left. So that's one of the ones you're going to turn in today. Then click OK. Now we're going to use the same photo but do something different this time. I want you to get rid of Layer 1. Click Layer 1 and drag it to the trash can, and we're now left with our original picture. Do the same exact thing we did in the beginning. I want you to select her face down to her thigh, Edit Copy, or Control C, Paste, Control V, Edit, Free Transform, or Control T. This time we're going to stretch it all the way left and all the way to the right. Click the check mark, then go to Filter, Distort, Polar Coordinates. It should be in a circle. Click OK. We're going to deal with that later. I want to go back to working with her. Double click on the right hand side the word background. If you don't double click and make it a layer, you won't be able to edit it. When you double click, click OK. It is now a movable, editable layer. Drag it on top of that circular polar coordinates that we did earlier. Down at the bottom, oh, we need to do select subject first. We're going to select her. So select subject. You can even go to the top and do select subject if you don't see this bar. And we're going to create a mask around her. Mask is the kind of rectangle over here with the empty circle in the middle. Click it, and then the background goes away. We're going to fill that background by choosing the circle that's half black, half white. Click that, go all the way to the top and choose solid color. Does not matter what color you choose here. Choose anything on the rainbow. I think that's going to look nice with her. Click OK. Now we're going to drag her on top, so move this layer up. And then finally we're going to drag layer 1 in between the two. It is not in the right place, so I need to move it using my move tool on the top of the keyboard. I can now move this behind her. And now we are finished with the second part of this project. Go to File, Save a Copy. I know it's an oval, but we're going to call it Circle. Done. Okay, that one is now done. Click OK. Last thing, last grade to do for today. Let's get rid of this one. So trash layer 1. Let's go ahead and get rid of this color fill. I'd like to choose another color this time. And we're going to select her one more time. So rectangular marquee tool, select her face down to the thigh, and repeat. Copy, paste, transform. We're going to just drag it to the left this time. Click OK. Then go to Edit, Transform, Warp. For this one, we need to zoom out. There are several ways to zoom out, but my favorite on the keyboard is to hold down the Control or the CTRL key and the plus, which is on the top right of the keyboard. Control plus is zoom in, Control minus is zoom out. I want to give myself some space, so I'm about here. I'm going to grab this bottom dot and I'm going to twist it all the way up. I'm going to grab this one right here, twist it all the way down. So basically we've twisted these pixels. When you're happy with it, you can even twist some more over here with these other dots. But that's the basic move. Click the check mark. Let's zoom back in so that we can see what we're doing. Let's go back to adding a solid color fill here. So fill layer, the circle, half white, half black, solid color. Try a different color this time. Then OK. Then I'm going to simply drag her to the top. Going to be her, then the twisted layer, then the color fill. And you have finally finished the last grade for today. Save a copy. We're going to call this one Twist. And click Save and OK, and then turn those in the appropriate places on Schoology.